Hey guys, it's me, Meteor. For years, Sonic and Kirby fans have fought relentlessly over the ultimate question. In a battle between two icons who defeat evil with kindness and teamwork, who will win? Wonder no longer, for today, the debate will be settled at last. But first, a few rules. To make things completely fair, we will be looking at the characters at base level. If we look at temporary forms like Supersonic or Hypernova Kirby, both of those are obtained after harnessing the power of specific items. Thus, one could argue the power of the items themselves are where the powers lie, not necessarily within the character. And it's not like they're the only ones who can harness their powers either. Therefore, looking at the base form is easily the fairest. Another issue I find with character battles is bias. Usually, fans of one character will point out all the ridiculous things in the games, regardless of how canon they may be, to support their argument towards said character. For example, we may look at this baseball minigame to show Kirby's power, and yet ignore the fact he had trouble holding open an elevator door. Alternatively, we may look at Sonic's incredible speed and think he's untouchable, yet he has still been caught on occasion. So how can we look at this realistically without showing bias or cherry picking? We probably can't. If we looked solely at game mechanics, both characters would lose to a Gordo in a locked room full of spikes, though Kirby could at least float in the middle somewhere until he gets tired. What if we compared the fights and encounters they may have had? Looking at pure power, Sonic usually needs to be in super form to take on most villains, especially those in the air. Otherwise, he could be swatted like a fly. However, Kirby has tackled interdimensional threats in most games without even using a copy ability, though it could be argued that Kirby still needs an item to finish off the threats in most games. Even still, comparing base power alone, I'd still give it to Kirby. Then there's the topic of speed. Sonic, with adrenaline pumping, can almost keep up with the black hole. Kirby, on the other hand, can barely beat DDD or Magolor in a foot race. So, despite how powerful Kirby can be, Sonic could probably get substantially more hits in. You know, float like a butterfly, sting like a... well, you get the point. Even still, it's not like Kirby would take every hit either. Kirby has some incredible reflexes when they're needed most. He'd probably be able to avoid a lot of hits too. All he would need are a few counter shots and boom! Honestly, I think the fight could go either way. It would be like creating characters for a tabletop game and debating who would win between a ninja or a warrior. It would essentially be decided on a dice roll or two. But why would they even fight anyway? Why do we fight about who would win? Why does it matter? Does our enjoyment of a fandom simply come from whether we have the strongest character? Both franchises deal with overcoming darkness with friendship or teamwork. Why can't we follow suit? I'm sure if Sonic and Kirby ever met, they'd just chill out and enjoy a burger together. Or chili dogs. Whatever. They certainly wouldn't want to fight each other. Well, perhaps Meta Knight would, but he wouldn't fight without his weapon, so that's a moot point. One thing is for sure though, Sonic would destroy them all in Gourmet Race. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Eventually.